Hello students, this is Govind sir and today we are starting our first unit of mechatronics system in which we will discuss about the mechatronics, some basic concept of electrical and electronic systems and the data acquisition system etc. So we are starting from the first topic, that is mechatronic systems. We will discuss in this video about the mechatronic systems and some block diagram and the other related things. So let's start with the first topic, that is mechatronic system. So what is mechatronics? Mechatronics is an interdisciplinary area of engineering that combines mechanical and electronics engineering and computer science. So we can say that it is a combined study of mechanical engineering and electronics engineering with computer science. So a typical mechatronic system picks up signals from the environment, processes them to generate output signals and transforming them, for example, into forces, motions and actions. So you can see in this image we have mechanical system, and some sensors, amplifiers, actuators. These are electronic components, and the microprocessor software. This is related to computer science. So this is a combined study of mechanical system, electronics engineering and computer science. Okay, if we talk about the conventional procedure, so for designing and construction we have two separate components, that is mechanical system and electronics. But in mechatronics procedure we have the combined study, or can say combined construction of mechanical system and electronic system. So this is basic difference between conventional procedure and mechatronics procedure. In the past history, we have only mechanical systems in the home appliances, or can say other devices, but the present time the appliances are made of combined structures of mechanical and electronics. Clear? So we have a block diagram of mechatronics in which we will discuss each blocks. First one is mechanical system. So the first block of mechatronics block diagram, that is mechanical system, in which it includes system model and the dynamic response. So system models and the dynamic response. We have actuators and sensors in the mechanical system. Actuators like solenoids, voice coils, DC motors, stepper motors, servo motors, hydraulic actuators, pneumatic actuators. These are the mechanical part of the system. And we have some sensors in switches, potentiometer, photoelectrics, digital encoders, strain gauge, thermocouple, accelerometer, MEMS, that is micro electromechanical system. This is all about the block of mechanical system. So mechanical system have actuators and sensor. After that, the output, main thing is the output of actuators goes to the sensors, then the output of sensors, or can say signals, will go to the next block, that is input signal conditioning and interfacing. So in the output signal of sensors will be signal conditioned. Okay, in the signal conditioning we have discrete circuits, amplifiers, filters, A to D, that is analog to digital converters, and digital to data or digital to digital interfacing. So the signal is signal conditioned, and then we have some interfacing between the devices. After that, the output signal is fed to the next block, that is digital control architecture, in which we have the control operations like logic circuits, microcontrollers, SBC, PLC, sequencing, timing, logic, arithmetic, control algorithms, and communication. But it is interconnected with the user interface. We have two types of user interface. First one is input user interface, second one is output interface. In input user interface, we have buttons, knobs, keypad, keyboard, joystick, mouse, microphone, touch screen, etc. These are our input user interface. And in the other, like output user interface, we have LEDs, LCDs, digital displays, monitor screen, buzzer, speaker. These are the user interface. Then the output of digital control architecture again fed to the output signal conditioning and interfacing, in which we have digital to analog converter, then power transistors, PWM is pulse width modulation, another modulation technique. Okay, so and the power amplifiers are in this block diagram. Then the output of this signal conditioning block is fed again to the mechanical system. So this will be automated process for mechatronics. Okay, this is all about the block diagram of mechatronics. Now let's move to the next topic is system engineering. It is also a part of mechatronics, or can say it is a interdisciplinary field of engineering and engineering management that focuses on how to design, integrate and manage complex systems over their life cycle. So we can say the system engineering is the combined study of engineering and engineering management. Clear? These are the key elements of system engineering management. We have prepare baseline, we have development phasing, life cycle planning and life cycle integration. After that we have integrated teaming, then the system engineering process will be done. So this is all about the system engineering management. Now we have another image related to system engineering aspects. We have risk management is also included in system engineering. Requirements, human factors, softwares, hardwares, verification and validation. The difference between verification and validation will be discussed in the next slides. And after that we have integration and the project leadership. So this is all aspects of system engineering. So in short, system engineering is a combined study of engineering and engineering management that focuses on how to design, how to integrate and how to manage a complex system over their life cycle. Clear? So we have a V model for engineering, system engineering processes, in which we have two categories. First one is definition and decomposition, and second one is integration and testing. So you can see here we have to start with this and goes to that. So start with the system engineering management plan. We have some concept of operation, we have system level requirements, then subsystem level requirement, that is high level designing, and then we have component with detailed design. Clear? Then implementation as in the form of hardware as well as software, in which we includes coding and testing also. Then we start the traceability, that is component verification. We have to verify components. Subsystem verification, we have detailed verification of subsystem. Then system verification, that is functional verification. After that we have system validation. So verification comes before the validation. Okay, then commission the system, in which operation and maintenance are included. So this is all about the V model of system engineering processes. Clear? So now we will discuss about the difference between verification and validation. So we have some points regarding validation and verification. The verification is a static process of verifying documents, design, code and program. So it is a static practice, and whereas the validation is a dynamic mechanism of validating and testing the actual product. It is related to actual product. Okay. And in the verification, it does not involve executing the code. There is no execution of codes. Clear? Whereas in the validation, it always involves executing the code. So it is the must and necessary condition for validation. And verification is human based checking of documents and file, whereas validation is computer based execution of program. Verification uses methods like inspection, review, walkthroughs, and desk checking. These are the methods to verify the documents and files. Okay, so and in the validation we have some methods like black box testing, gray box testing, and white box testing. In the black box testing we have functional knowledge, whereas gray box testing we have some structural and functional knowledge. Whereas in the white box testing we have full knowledge of structural testing. Clear? This is structural testing. So there are three methods in validation, that is black box testing, gray box testing, and white box testing. Now move to the next point, that is verification is to check whether software conforms to the specifications. Verification is to check whether the software conforms to the specification. And in validation is to check whether software meets the customer expectation and requirements. So validation is related to the customer satisfaction. Clear? Not the basic verification. So verification can catch errors that validation cannot catch. It is low level exercise. Whereas the validation can catch errors that verification cannot catch errors that catch. It is high level exercise. So target of verification is requirements specification, application, software architecture, high level, complete design, and database design. This is the target of verification. Whereas the target of validation is actual product, a unit, a module, a bunch of integrated modules, and effective final product. That is the target for validation. Verification is done by a quality analysis team to ensure that the software is as per the specification in the SRS document. Whereas validation is carried out with a involvement of testing team. There is a involvement of testing team. Verification generally comes first, done before the validation, and the validation follows after the verification. So it is very clear that verification comes before the validation and validation follows after the verification. So these are the some basic differences between verification and validation, and this is also very important to know about the both. Now we have to move next topic, that is importance or advantages of mechatronic system. So we have some advantages like enhanced feature and functionality can be obtained by mechatronic systems. It is more user friendly, it has high accuracy, increases efficiency, the products are cost effective, flexible design, that means we can reprogram the systems, and it will be safe inside. If we talk about benefits to the industry, so starting at design and continuing through manufacture, mechatronic design optimize the available mix of technologies to produce quality precision products and system. in a timely manner with features the customer wants. So this is the basic benefit to the industry of mechatronics. We have some benefits like shorter development cycle, lower cost, increased quality, increased reliability, increased performance, and increased benefits to the customers. So this is all about mechatronics and its benefits. In the next video we will talk about the some networks theorems or some network laws, which is also important part of the system designing in mechatronics. Clear? So thank you.